UnitedKingDorks podcast that we've decided to do. We've only got 3 of the dorks here today. We've got myself, Jake, Ryan, and Gibbo. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hi.
That's absolutely beautiful. Nice and professional, just how I like it. Unfortunately, Luke couldn't join us, but hopefully, if we do these again, then he'll be able to join us in future.
Well, first of all, I'm Ryan. The hey was Gibbo from before, just in case anyone was wondering. 2,
just to make it
the
clear.
fucking dig about professionalism. Have you not been on our channel?
That is absolutely fucking true. Have you seen me play Dark Souls? That's all I'm saying, mate.
Mate, I've seen it firsthand. It's upsetting to watch happen.
I am a fucking geometry master.
Oh my god! Oh, I don't know if that's in any videos that have come out yet, but there's a bit where you just, like, the fucking surrounding area that you're in just attacks you, basically.
Yeah.
You're fucking stuck on every single tiny pebble in the area. Just cannot deal with it.
Cannot deal with it whatsoever.
Brings a new definition to the term, to the phrase even, of geometry wars. You're fucking stuck on everything.
Mate, that fucking game was so good. Did you play, was it Geometry Wars Retro Evolved, which had, like, the pacifism game mode?
Mate, you just blown clear over my head by about 6 feet.
Well, it was fucking amazing. You didn't shoot the, like, asteroids. You used gates to blow them up, so you had to circle the screen, pass through the gates, and then the gate would blow up and kill the shit around it. But obviously, like, because they're all following you around, it's like you have to sort of put them in a pattern so you can dodge in between them to get to the gates. Anyway, it was fucking amazing. But
anyway, podcast, yeah.
Podcast. So I suppose I'll sort of run through what we're actually going to be doing today. So first thing we're going to be talking about is what we've been playing recently. So pretty much like for the past week or so, anything that we've enjoyed playing or anything that we found interesting or have found fucking terrible.
We got an order for that, or?
No, we're just going to fucking wing it.
No?
Once we've done that, we're going to go through some upcoming releases, anything that we're looking forward to or interested in. Going to go through some of the sort of gaming-related news, and then to wrap up, we'll be probably talking about what's going to be up on the UnitedKingDorks channel coming up in the near future. So, is there anything that I've missed off that you two would like to add to that? Is there anything that you'd want to cover, or...?
Probably yes, but I'll remember it as I'm doing it, and then maybe even forget by the end of the podcast. So we'll see what happens.
Fair enough. So yeah, I suppose the first topic we'll go through then is what we've been playing. So does anyone want to get started?
I'll get started on that because I've got some shit.
You got some shit. You got some tech, mate.
Mate, I don't know if you noticed, but Street Fighter 5 fucking came out.
Oh,
holy shit! That is a game. We discussed this on one of the Dark Souls sessions, but the fact that people are complaining so intensely about, like, Street Fighter 5 coming out in the state that it's in it fucking irks me to my core. I mentioned when I discussed it with you when I was playing Dark Souls, but
yeah, I feel
we discussed it as well, didn't we? Like, how there's literally no excuse for people to be going sick about what the state of the game is released as.
This is where I disagree with you, Gibbo.
Well, no, it's like what Gibbo is actually saying is it's like you have a reason to be annoyed that you're not getting 100% of the game straight away, but people are fucking, like, boycotting Street Fighter and shit. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to boycott it, although I sort of have because I haven't bought it because I'm waiting until they bring out some of the updates.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
That's because I'm a fucking impoverished student.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to, like, I know we've discussed it in the Dark Souls playthrough, but obviously that's not going to be out for a while. So do you want to sort of give us your view on things and why you feel that it is actually a decent release?
Well, my opinions on it are basically that it's a fighting game. When you pay that money for the game, you're paying for a fighting game. Can you play the fighting game? Yes, you can play the fighting game.
You can.
Can you play challenge mode and go onto a shop and buy 16 outfits for Ken? No, you can't. And that's coming. But the point of it is, for me at least anyway...
I fucking love how salty you get about this.
I get it. It pisses me off. Just like it's like, well, I wanted to buy the limited edition hot Ryu with a beard. No, it's a fighting game. Can you go into the fighting game and kick people and shoot people with Hadoukens and do dive kicks? Yeah, you can. So what the fuck's up with you?
And to be fair, at its core, it's a really good fighting game. The mechanics behind it and the way the game plays is great.
That's the next thing that annoys me even further is the fact that the core gameplay is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and people are like,
I agree.
People are like, yeah, but there's no market though. Fuck it, mate. Just wait a month.
I fucking completely agree on that. Like, I don't give a shit about cosmetics. If I'm playing a fighting game, I want to fucking play a fighting game. I don't give a shit what a character really looks like.
Yeah, it's like I said before. Use the month that you haven't got a store to find your main characters. Then when the store comes out, buy some alternative costumes for them.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
the only sort of gripe that I have with the release is things that do possibly affect it as a fighting game. So the lack of a decent sort of challenge mode or even a decent tutorial or training mode on it, I think is going to affect the game. So like, I don't think they should have released it without that. And then
it's not very welcoming to casual players to jump in and be like, where's the combo, and you just have to kind of just do it.
Work it out yourself or go on the
Well, I did most of my... I'm maining Ken at the minute, and most of my techniques have come from YouTube videos, which is fine. I actually quite like it. But...
To be fair, I did a lot of that on Street Fighter 4, and that did have a challenge mode, so I kind of see where you're coming from with that. It just would have been nice if it was included in the game to start with. But they've obviously rushed it out because they want to give people like 4 months before Evo to get ready for like the big tournaments.
Mate, you got to give Daigo some time, get them frame traps on the go, mate. He needs some fucking.
Did you see Daigo losing to Lupe Fiasco?
It upset me. I didn't want to see it, so
I call bullshit. I think that's such a setup.
Yeah.
Because I can't see Daigo losing to a random scrub. I'm not saying he doesn't play.
Mate, everyone's got a puncher's chance.
Yeah, I just think Daigo's more intelligent than that. I think he'd figure him out in the first round and then body him in the second two if he was gonna beat him.
He probably. Well, to be honest, we should probably just hold off on Street Fighter because I'll just talk all night about Street Fighter. We need to discuss other things. I've been playing other games during this past week. So Street Fighter 5. So go on.
All right, I was going to say just before you move on from Street Fighter, I was going to say what I know Gibbo's been playing it a bit as well. So I just wanted to know how he's finding it.
Fucking entertaining, mate. I really, really enjoy it. Like Ryan can vouch for this because when I first started playing Street Fighter 4 again, my piss was boiling. Yeah, like to the point where the pot was sort of bubbling over. Like fucking
just frothing over.
You remember when we first started playing it again? We were just like, I'm not playing this. I can't do it. I'm shit. I hate the game.
I remember specifically playing Street Fighter 4 with you, and you getting so mad, and you were like, "Mate, I fucking hate fighting games." I was like, "No, you don't hate fighting games. You just don't like that you're not good at this one.
Like losing."
Yeah. So he's like, "Fucking," and then he just like went home and then played a lot of Street Fighter. Came back and absolutely ripped my arsehole out with fucking who was it? Sagat's protege, Adon. Fucking thrashed me with Adon. I was like, "Oh right, well, practice away then, have you?"
Yeah. After that, I don't know what happened. I kind of get like that with some games. Like I'll play it a bit, get shit or like slightly better, give it a break, play it again, and then just fucking be really kind of good. Really kind of good.
Really kind of good.
Yeah.
That's some.
I'm not amazing at the fucking game.
That's some good English right there.
That's very good England.
I get it though, because it's like it's not with anything like learning a song on guitar or any musical instrument. I tend to find I'll learn it, have a real hard time learning it, go away, not play it for a while, come back, and I can play it really well. Yeah. Because my mind and my muscle memories had time to like adapt to what it is that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, like I've had to do the same thing again because I got the fight stick.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Are you finding it easier than a pad now you've got used to it, or
sort of? I'm still trying to get used to it a little bit. Like when I first got it, I was like, "Oh God, what the fuck am I doing? How's this work?"
Yeah.
Played a few online matches with it. Like today, I played 2 after I got back from work, and I got fucking trashed.
Yeah.
Like I'd lose the first round, bring it back the second, and then just get fucking. I'd tilt a bit, in the last round because I'm like, oh god, I can't lose this, I can't, and then just start throwing random punches and kicks everywhere.
Yeah,
get the shit pushed up my arse.
That's the thing. When everyone who plays Street Fighter, they panic and they just forget the fundamentals and then get the shit stuffed in, and then because they've been like destroyed, they tilt even harder and then forget again. So it's a pretty bad game for that. Like, you have to sort of control yourself. I mean, I'm terrible at Street Fighter. I enjoy the game, but I wouldn't say I'm good at it.
No.
But
I'd say I'm amazing. I'd say I am the master of all fighting games.
The master of all fighting games, mate. That's been stated on the channel before.
Stated once, stated several times, and it was stated several more times that I thrash your arsehole on every single game I play on.
Ryan shit Pusher Taylor.
Yeah, mate.
Also, I've chucked the Street Fighter 5 trailer up on the stream, and Fang's just been on. What a sick character Fang is! Like, I don't think there's really been a character like that in Street Fighter before. Like,
I was so
aspect.
dubious. I saw Fong or Fang, which because it come out as like his name is pronounced Fong apparently, but I'd say Fang. But anyway, I was so dubious. I saw that character and was like, okay, so this is a Rufus of this game. I'm going to look at it and go no, and just not touch it. Mate, he's got so much shit, and the fact that he can use poison but it doesn't do gross damage is just like a scare tactic. It's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's almost like a defensive tactic into it. It's like you put up that poison wall and then people can't sort of rush in on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the verdict is that Street Fighter 5's pretty decent. It's had a bit of a ropey launch and it's lacking features, but like the actual fundamentals of the game that are there, I do think are sick.
I would agree mostly, except for the lacking features part.
How can you not say it's lacking features? It's so
barren.
Because
it's a fighting game, and you can play the fighting game.
I just feel it's stripped down. I feel it's stripped down. I feel it'll be an amazing game.
I would agree with that, but to me, like to say it's like it lacks features when you can still. It's like I don't know. The latest FIFA came out with no football. Do you know what I mean? What? That lacks features.
Yeah.
If you load up a FIFA game, but there's no market to buy like the new strips or whatever, well, fucking, I can still play the football game.
Yeah, no,
I agree. I get what you're saying. It is stripped because it's not, there's challenge mode and the market's not in there from day one and whatever. And there might be even nefarious. I was thinking about this the other day that there might be a nefarious reason why they don't put market up straight away because they want to look how much fight money people can gain in a certain amount of time, and they'll change the prices for the fight money for the characters accordingly.
That is actually an interesting idea. Hell. I didn't think about that. They might even be sort of gauging how many games on average people are playing over a week. So they can say, right, okay, we want them to play for a month before they can afford a costume. We're going to set it at this price.
Yeah, exactly. So basically to distance itself from... Because Zenny is what you buy with actual money to use to buy costumes and characters.
Yeah.
And fight money is what you can use by actually playing the game. So... like with anything like this, the fight money will be worth an unbelievably low amount in comparison to the Zenny.
Money. Yeah.
So I think they're using this first month to look at it and go, okay, this guy's played this many games. On average, people play this many games and in this much fight money. Say it's a lot more than this probably, but say it's like 4,000 fight money. That means I want the... I don't know, the in-game purchase of a character to be 6,000 fight money.
Yeah.
Or you can buy it for 5,000.
Yeah. So they can
figure out the price margin for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually pretty accurate because I would imagine the costumes and stuff are pretty much complete. So
yeah.
That's probably...
I was at work the other day. I was just thinking about it. It's like, oh, that's dirty. I just felt it like wash over me. But yeah, Street Fighter 5, solid game. It's a solid fighting game, and when you buy the fighting game, you get to play the fighting game.
And to be fair, the couch co-op that we played was pretty fun. So
yeah, mate.
You can't really complain about that.
I think that's part of the reason why I get so salty about it, because it's like, to me, a fighting game is sitting on the settee with your mates playing a fighting game. That's what you get to do with Street Fighter 5, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But to move on, because I was asked what I've been playing, I'll be like, oh, fucking Street Fighter 5, just talk about that. But I've also been playing. I've played some other fighting games before that because I wanted to have a little thrash around. I got. Let me see. I got Skullgirls. These guys just brought out. They've just done a successful Kickstarter for what did they bring out now? What's it called? Indivisible.
Oh,
They've just
really?
done it. The same guys behind Indivisible. They're basically like
Yeah, I
they're a
think I
really
did actually hear
interesting
about that.
company because they put everything together themselves, and they're like a very independent game company.
Yeah.
But they've got a really big background.
What's the premise behind Indivisible? What sort of game is it?
I wouldn't even dare to talk about it because I'm not 100% sure. But I
Right.
know the basis of it is it's like a side-scrolling 2.5D
Yeah.
game, but it's the art style is very. If you look at Skullgirls and then Indivisible, you can see the
I'm not sure if
correlation.
it's the same game that I saw a while ago because I can't remember the name of it. But
Yeah,
it was like a sort of, like you say, 2.5D platformer,
yeah.
but with fighting game mechanics.
That's
So
that's Indivisible. Yeah, it's got
yeah,
fighting game mechanics in it.
yeah, it
It's
looks
really
pretty
weird.
sick.
It's like Mega Man with Street Fighter moves.
Yeah,
Like, it's really
yeah,
weird.
there's the one that I'm thinking of then.
But yeah, they've just brought that up. But I was playing Skullgirls before. That's a really solid fighting game.
Yeah, amazing art
That's
style.
much more. You certainly felt like it was much more like press a button to do a cool thing rather than do a combo.
Yeah,
You can do combos in it, obviously, but that just felt like like how Killer Instinct is less about individual frame trap combos and more about doing like linking the long combos together to the ridiculously long ones to
yeah,
do all the damage. It's one of them type of games.
right.
But I've also been playing King of Fighters 98,
Yeah,
and let me see what else I've been doing. I'm having a quick look down my list just to see. I got some games on classically. I got some games on the Steam sale, so I've been playing some
yeah,
Wolfenstein and the New Order and stuff like that. But
just dabbling.
regarding for the actual channel as well, playing Firewatch and
Yeah,
Dark Souls, obviously. But also, I've been playing Elite Dangerous, and I've
yeah,
had a bit of a rocky time with Elite Dangerous. I've been perfectly honest. Like, I mean, Gibbo was sat next to me when I did something, went back to a base, realized that the game had reloaded my everything to do with my character and ship,
yeah.
but didn't load my rover for landfall. So went all the way to a planet,
Right.
landed on it, and then had nothing to fucking ride around in. I just fucking deleted the game because I'm just so sick of like the guidance of of yourself around the game and the
Yeah,
menu. Just so like if you don't know, you should know already, and it's really really frustrating. Once you get into it and you realize it's just a grinding simulator for space.
yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing, which I am,
I've
to a
heard
point,
it described as Euro Truck Simulator in space.
pretty much. Yeah.
Have you actually?
Yeah, like that's a legitimate thing that people refer to it as. I would say it's probably a bit more than that because obviously it's got like the dogfighting, and haven't they just released like their battle sort of arena part of the game?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
that might be a bit more interesting. But if you just
Um,
like drifting through space, I suppose it's
yeah,
a nice
yeah,
game
it's
to
good.
play.
It's a solid game, but it's got now that's lacking features, mate. Elite
Yeah,
Dangerous, that's lacking some features. But
right.
anyway, to move on from that, finally, I've recently been playing XCOM 2, the new XCOM game that come out.
Yeah, you were saying
Um,
you started playing it like what 6 hours ago, and you
yeah,
haven't
it's one
put
of
it
them
down.
things where like I booted up like I enjoyed the last one, and then it was 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
It just ripped 6 hours of my day away from me.
yeah,
But it's much of the same from the previous installment from the PC and PS3 release.
right.
They've gone full PC release on this. There's no console version. To be able to,
So it's dedicated.
it's really dedicated towards the PC. So
Always nice to see.
well, it is and it isn't because it is a shame because some people won't be able to play this game
Yeah,
because they haven't got a PC that's good enough, which is always a shame. But at the same time, because it's so dedicated, you can really feel there's certain aspects of the game that
they've
well,
been
it could have been in
optimized.
it could have been in the console version, but you can feel the PC-ness of it.
Yeah.
Like when I was playing it earlier, what you can do is when you can create characters to go into what's known as a character pool. So when you recruit soldiers, you have a chance to recruit the person that you made.
Right.
But you can, for this person, you can completely build them from the ground up, and you
Yeah.
can write a full biography for them. Like you can just sit there with your keyboard, just write up
Oh,
an entire
really?
biography for a character, and it's like so in
So
depth.
you can give them like a full-on backstory.
Yeah, like you can say this guy came from a fucking broken home and he killed his dad at 13 and left for the army, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you go full really like
you
because
add personality to your characters.
Yeah, I love that stuff because it gives you a real sense of loss and gain when you win or lose a mission. Because if someone dies in the game, they're gone forever. Like they just die. You can get injured and then you can bleed out where like the guy's down and they can go up to a guy and pick him up and carry him to the evac zone.
Yeah,
and he'll survive. But if they actually get taken down and die, that character is dead. So that's brutal, but like it adds that extra layer to be able to write that biography for him. But that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been playing recently. I also tried DayZ mod. Shit, uninstalled it. So that's it.
Yeah, I looked at that, but I don't know. I've got fundamental problems with the fucking guy who developed it, so I just decided against it.
You told me you were like, yeah, the guy's a fucking penis. So I'm not.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not supporting that guy. Yeah, so, just before we move on quickly, how does XCOM work then? Because as the most that I know about it is it's a turn-based game with. Is it like a military style game?
Military turn-based action, as I would have said. It's like it's sci-fi. It's aliens. It's you've got like.
Does it play similar to Civ, like just a turn-based tile sort of?
I would liken it more to the original Fallout 1 and 2.
Right, okay.
Where you have like a grid-based floor system, and you have an area of that grid where you can run to, then perform an action, or you have an area outside of that grid where you can run to, but you can't perform that action because you run out of action points.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's really because I really enjoyed Fallout 1 and 2. They're one of my favorite games of all time. So that return to basically unupres retexture playstyle of that is like, that is just like add in the fact that you can write all the biographies, amazing. Like it's perfect for me.
It does sound good, and it's had really good reviews. So I mean, if it was my sort of game, I'd probably check it out. But it doesn't really appeal to me. So I'll probably
but the snake lady's in it.
The snake lady.
Yeah, mate. There's like snake. One of the enemy types is just like because part of the thing is. The story of the game is that the XCOM 1 ended. The canon ending for XCOM 1 is you lost. Like, you lost the war with the aliens, and the aliens won and took over.
Yeah.
So the aliens have had, like, free reign to experiment. And one of their experiments is they've spliced alien, human, and snake DNA together. And there's this, like, massive fucking snake woman thing with, like, armor on. It's fucking horrific.
That sounds fucking brutal.
Yeah, mate, it's metal as fuck. It's great. Yeah, but
nice way to describe it.
That's what I've been playing.
Sweet. Do you want to go next, Gibbo?
Yeah, can do.
Tell us some shit, mate.
Right, my mate. There's no tech with what I've been playing. Just a lot of Street Fighter, getting used to the fight stick. It's fucking, like I was saying before, it's really awkward to get used to begin with. But once you are used to it, everything just seems a lot easier. Like I was telling Ryan about this in the gym, how with the controller, it felt like you've got to be really careful with the buttons that you press.
Yeah.
But with the fire stick, once you know how to do things, it just feels like you're just inputting commands.
Yeah, what I like about the fight stick is because like the buttons are so separate, you never sort of accidentally hit 2 or whatever. And plus, because I've got like big hands, when I play a fighting game, if I'm on the right hand side of the screen, I find it awkward to do sort of shuriken movements towards the left hand side of the screen. I can do it fine on a controller towards the right hand side of the screen, but I struggle from the right to the left. But on a fight stick, I find it just as comfortable going either side.
Yeah, because there's no sort of like comfort to pushing it to the right, is there? It's just the same in whatever direction you press it.
Yeah, because you're moving your wrist, which is sort of omnidirectional, as opposed to like your thumb socket, which is like tends to go more easily to the right than coming back on itself towards your hand. It just feels like I'm a lot more in control when I use a fight stick.
Exactly. All in all, a fucking really good investment.
Yeah.
You've got the Venom stick like Jake has on you.
Yeah, exactly the same one.
It's 70 quid. It's a solid stick. But yeah, I've not had any problems with mine. I know one of the reasons I bought it is because I thought, like, if I get really into fighting games, apparently it's like one of the easiest sticks to mod. So you can buy like the proper Japanese arcade parts and transplant them over to the stick. So
oh shit, that's pretty good to know.
Just before we carry on, can you just throw the link to the Twitch stream of this into the chat for the Skype so I can throw it up on my Facebook?
Yeah, of course I will.
So I've been feverishly searching Google to try and find it for the last 5 minutes. I just can't find it.
It's just twitch.tv/UnitedKingDorks.
Of course it is, mate.
It's exactly what you'd expect.
Of course it is, mate. You know what? I'm a complete idiot.
Yes, you are.
I wouldn't trust me to do pretty much anything, to be honest with you. Anything technological. As he says, trying to stream and make a YouTube channel, which is fucking genius.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, well, to be fair, we're three English men struggling with the native language doing a podcast, so...
Yeah.
What were you saying then, Gibbo, before Ryan fucking interrupted?
Sorry.
Yeah, because it's a console Fire Stick, isn't it? It's designed to be used with PS3 and PS4, but I'm trying to use it on PC, which it does work, but you've got to use joy to key.
Yeah.
So, fucking god.
That's another thing that came out about Street Fighter V when it was released. There was a lot of people moaning that like PS4 fight sticks don't work in it because basically PS4 uses direct input is their sort of protocol that it uses for input, and then Xboxes use X input, which is also used by Microsoft PCs. So it supports X input, but there's no drivers available for direct input, which is what our fight sticks are. So that was another thing people were saying. They were like, how can you bring a fighting game out that you're targeting at a hardcore community and then not support all fight sticks? Like, yeah, it's an easy workaround to install joy to key and work around it.
You shouldn't have to do that.
But you shouldn't have to do that. That's the point.
That's the kind of shit that bores my piss.
Yeah.
Basically what you just said, really. You bring out this fucking excellent game that everyone wants to play and it's got a really big fan base to it, but you don't support.
Yeah.
Like the
You're looking for trouble after doing stuff like that.
Oh, mate, and Street Fighter's got such a hardcore community. It's like, you really don't want to piss them off.
No. But back to the story where I plugged it in. I thought, I'm going to try and see if I can get away with it. It didn't work, obviously. Installed joy to key. And I was like going through all the buttons, like, right, what button corresponds to the button on the Fire Stick? What's going on? Amy walks in, he's like, why don't you just go on the internet and look for a profile for it? Blew my mind.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good fucking idea.
I didn't think of it though. I didn't think of it.
Well, to be fair, neither did we when we were around Ryan's, obviously playing it on launch. So.
Yep. So I googled it. Immediately comes up with a profile. It's like you push these buttons that correspond to these actions. Sorted.
Yeah. Nice.
Sick.
Away I go. And it was.
What else have you been playing?
The Witcher 3.
I've been playing Witcher 3 as well. That's another game I'm playing.
Fucking lot of The Witcher 3.
You know my feelings on RPGs, but The Witcher is one that does tempt me from what I've heard about it.
Yeah,
you're literally hunting. Not as like, oh, it's a werewolf. It's like, well, to be fair, you do hunt werewolves in it.
Yeah.
But it's like historically accurate, like what is it? Norwegian like folklore style, like legendary beasties, like a cockatrice and shit like that. Or I forget. There's a lesser vampire, but it's called something like a big long Norwegian name.
Right, so it's like it's things that have actually got a sort of history to them.
Yeah, it's really good. And like some of the character arcs in it, like for a side story, it is upsetting how good the Bloody Baron story is.
Yeah.
Oh
amazing.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to. It's kind of strange that you say that actually, because I was listening to a podcast from when it first came out, and they were saying they'd spent like 30 hours and were still in the starting area because the side quests were just so good.
Yeah. It's the first game where I like. When I first got Skyrim, I was like, okay, here we go. Let's play some Skyrim because I've always been a Elder Scrolls fan.
Yeah.
So I started playing the game, start doing the main quest line, but there's all these side quests. So you start in the side quests, and you end up burning out on the side quests because there's so many of them. But it's not because the side quests are so good, because there's so many small ones.
Right.
The difference between that and Witcher is that there's so many quests, but they're all fucking long. They're all amazing. They're really deep with loads of characters and loads of dialogue that's actually interesting to listen to / read.
Yeah.
And there's so many. It boggles my mind that so much dialogue has been written and recorded. Because it's not just a case of you go do the mission, complete the mission, that's cool, carry on.
Yeah.
There's like you have choices, like branching choices through all these missions.
Even some of these side quests can affect the main quest line as well.
Yeah,
which is fucking great.
Crazy. The amount of depth in that game is unbelievable.
So, essentially, the more you get into the side quests, the more that you end up getting out of the main quest as well, or is it just sort of that it changes the endings and things like that?
I think it's the former out of the two of them.
Yeah,
like,
so
you
it
do a
actually
side
molds
quest.
the storyline.
That's kind of awkward for me because you've just asked that question. I was like, I don't know. I'm still in the starting area. I'm like 50 hours in. I'm still fucking around in Novigrad, running around and like helping to get like this godling out of this haunted house because a godling is basically like an older creature.
Yeah,
but it's not like evil or nothing. It's just a very like
a forest spirit kind of.
Yeah, like a very pagan style like forest spirit. But like mischievous. So this woman was an onomancer, which is like a dream weaver type person. So she falls asleep and becomes completely lucid. Only the godling stops her from waking up and just starts fucking with her in a dream.
Right.
So it's like playing around with like making her like have like tame but nightmares, and just winding her up. And I was just like chuckling at like the idea of this. Right, because any other game, you just walk in there and have to kill the thing.
Yeah.
But this is like
that there's actually so much to it.
Yeah, so good.
Well, on the podcast that I was listening to, they were saying like it's the side quests. It goes back to what you were saying about the quality of them. It's not like you go in and it's like, right, go and fucking collect 10 bear arses for Mrs. fucking Mrs. Jeeves from up the road or whatever. It's like each side quest is a fully formed quest. It's not a lazy fucking go and fetch this or quest. Go and speak to such and such.
Yeah.
It's like there is actual story to them, which to me it sounds really good. But then again, the developer that made it, is it CD Projekt Red, is it? Or yeah. Well, they're known as being like amazing for the PC community. Like that's where their roots come from, and I feel they've done it the right way because they weren't like, right, okay, we're just gonna fucking rush this game out, meet a deadline, sell as many copies as we can. They were like, we're gonna make the fucking best game that we can, and then we're gonna be successful because it's such a good game.
Yeah.
So I like it when developers aren't afraid to sort of say, look, it's gonna be done when it's done. There's gonna be a fuckload of detail in it, and then hopefully the rewards will come after.
Speaking of details. You know, you were talking about the weird names for vampires in The Witcher.
Yeah.
They're called Ekimaras, Alps.
Ekimara, that's it, yeah.
Katakans, and then like higher vampires were the ones that can take a human form.
Yeah, the higher vampires are actually like the glamoring and, you know, they're turned into a bat style, like Dracula vampire. Yeah. Whereas the Ekimara are like the big fucking horrible gangly purple
basically
and red.
A humanoid bat.
Ugh, mate, the Akimara, I'm already forgetting the name of the thing. The fucking the lesser vampire is fucking horrible to look at because they've got the vampire bat nose where it's like a big flared like fox's ear for a nose.
Yeah, like a sort of squashed nose. Like
they've got a massive one of them and it looks horrific. They've got like a little goatee beard. Oh, no, gross.
Sounds fucking disgusting.
It's terrible. It's amazing to look at to get ready to fight one. It's like, no, this is going to be pretty gross.
So,
but it's just awesome to look at.
Sounds like you're both pretty happy with The Witcher then.
Yeah, mate. Because I know you'll be quite a contrast for this because me and Gibbo are like very RPG orientated where you aren't. So what have you actually been playing?
What have I been playing, mate? What haven't I been playing? Well, actually, I haven't been playing a great deal because I've been so fucking busy. But what I have been playing is I've been playing a shitload more Overwatch, which is the fucking greatest game ever invented in the history of man.
Absolute bastard,
mate! It's so good. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some footage up on my second screen so I can get that on the podcast. But yeah, I've been playing quite a lot of Overwatch. I can't really say much more than it's fucking amazing. So for people that don't know what Overwatch is, which you've probably been living under a rock if you don't know that, it's Blizzard's new IP, which they haven't done in a long time, so that's nice to see. Completely new IP, no recycled characters like Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that. And it's the biggest comparison you can make is to TF2. It's a team-based FPS shooter, cartoony graphics, and lots of silly stuff going on. Whereas it differs to Team Fortress, though, is the cast of characters. In Overwatch, I think there's 24 characters, maybe 21, but there's a lot of characters, whereas in TF2, obviously, you've only got, is it 6 or 7 roles, something like that?
I think so, yeah.
So, it's... there's a lot of mix to it. There's basically 4 different roles that you can play. So you can play an attacking DPS type role, defensive role, which are all about sort of holding down points, and then you've got tanks and support classes, which aren't necessarily just healers. Some of them have got pretty cool abilities, like Symmetra. Her ultimate ability is to place a teleporter down so you can get your team back to somewhere in the map from spawn really quickly. So if you're pushing a payload and everyone wipes and it's going to take you ages to get back to the payload and start pushing it again, if you've got a teleporter up, your team can get back there really quickly and start pushing the payload again before the guys on the other team spawn. So there's although there's a big cast, they're all very unique in terms of what they actually do.
Yeah, but is there a dialogue option to have sex with somebody, though?
There is not, mate. It is not.
Because that's what happens in The Witcher, mate.
There's not enough RPG to it, then.
No, mate.
There's fucking very little
Needs
RPG,
more RPG.
and that's why it's so amazing.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that sounds really good. That sounds like something I'll probably get into, to be honest.
What I would describe it as is fun, because it's got MOBA aspects. So, like I say, it's all about sort of your team composition, having a good mixture of role and things like that. But whereas if you're playing a game of League of Legends and it's going shit and it can last 50 minutes and you're just fucking utterly depressed by the end of it, if you get smashed in one of these games, it only lasts 5 minutes. So it's just yeah, that's fine, on to the next one. So I don't find myself getting angry at this the same way I do as normal MOBAs.
That's why I like shooters, because it can be over so quickly. If you're getting fed up, you can just be like, alright, I'm done.
Yeah.
Next match, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's just I haven't invested fucking 3/4 of an hour into this game. I've just invested 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. So,
and you can still have fun with it as well, because it's a shooter. If you're losing, you can just be like, right, I'm going to go nuts on everything.
Oh yeah, the video that I've got up at the moment is of my favourite character, Junkrat. And one of his abilities is to throw a bomb that he can choose to blow up at any point, but it'll fling you miles up in the air, so you can just run around the map fucking jumping on top of buildings using bombs and stuff. And it'll also fling enemies. So one of his other abilities is a snare trap that you put on the ground. If you put that snare trap down and put one of these bombs underneath, when you get the message to say someone's stepped in your trap, you can set the bomb off and send the fucking enemy flying up into the air. So it's there's some pretty cool interactions that you can actually do within the game. So like you say, even if you are losing, you can just sort of dick around and have fun. So it's probably my favourite game in a long time.
Sounds like you're pretty happy with it, mate, to be honest.
I've got no problems with it apart from some of the balance stuff. But they've already started to address that.
They'll start getting tweaked around until it's right again.
It already has done. It's they've been pretty active on sorting stuff out. So
yeah, you been playing anything else? It sounds like that's been pretty much your.
I've been playing Modern Warfare 2 on PC.
Wow,
throwback, mate.
Of all the games you could have chosen for that, You went all the way back to Modern Warfare 2.
Mate, I was browsing G2A and it was on there for like £5, so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
You've got £5.
Mate, so I've been playing that. Still the same old game it used to be. I was fully expecting it to be full of hackers, but I haven't actually run into any so far. So yeah, pretty fun. Been playing that, bashing the multiplayer, trying to level up, get them good guns, and apart from that, played a little bit of Shadow of Mordor. Picked that up in the Steam sale for like a £5.
That's a good game.
It is a pretty solid game. I've only played like I think probably 4 or 5 hours of it, so I'm not that deep into it. But from what I've played so far, yeah, legit as fuck. I'm really enjoying it.
I do like how they've taken that Batman fighting mechanic and just plopping it into different games. Yeah, like you've got a Batman obviously, but then you've got the Shadows of Mordor. Mad Max has got their version of it. So you've got Batman, which is just fisticuffs. Batman, just punching dude version. You've got Mad Max, where it's like a gun version, where you're doing like your finishes, like shooting a guy in the face with a shotgun. Then you got the Shadows of Mordor, where it's like you're decapitating guys and stabbing them. Yeah. So it's like it's a nice little. I mean, I don't know how many more times I'm going to see it until I get bored of it. The same way that when I first started when I played Gears of War 1, it was like, oh my god, waist high cover, what is this? Yeah. And then after that, it's like, wow, this is fucking everywhere now.
Well, one of the other games that it's on is Sleeping Dogs, the Square Enix game, and I played quite a bit of that recently as well. So, I like that combat mechanic. I think it's pretty nice. It's not too difficult to do. One of the nice things about Shadow of Mordor is the animation quality. It's fucking amazing. Yeah. Like in the combat when you're just like flipping over fucking orcs left and right and decapitating people. You feel badass, even though you're just spamming left and right click at the right time. Yeah. It makes you feel like a fucking badass. So, that's pretty much all I've been playing, really.
What are I've already forgotten the other topics of the podcast.
The next one that we're going to go through, probably be quite a quick topic really, is any upcoming releases that we've seen that we're looking forward to. So has anyone got any?
There's one in particular that me and Gibble are looking forward to.
Go on then.
Dark Souls 3.
That's the one.
Mate.
Jesus wept.
Mate, I'm going to bury myself to the hilt in that fucking game. I can't
Mate, you getting deep?
Mate, the King Arthur will not be able to pull me out of that game.
Oh mate,
it's gonna be mate. The time it's up in the air at the minute what they're actually going to do with the story, because Dark Souls 1 and 2 for a long time people have thought about them as because they thought they're completely separate games. Yeah, but there's corollaries between the first Dark Souls 1 and 2 as if they're parallel universes. So there's always a chosen undead and 4 Lord souls. Right. One's like light and dark, and then like fire and death.
Mate, fucking Dark Souls blows my mind. Like,
mate, the lore in those games is unbelievable. But the premise is like still is quite shockingly similar. Which I think where a lot of the problems with Dark Souls 2 comes out is that where people compare them so easily together because they're very similar in pacing and obviously gameplay, but regarding the story element to it, there's certain things that are very different. But with the whole point of 4 main big bads, 4 Lord Souls, 1 chosen undead, which is yourself. Yeah, it's very close together. Now in Dark Souls 3, there's been some very purposeful story or lore leaks about it, where they're basically saying that the concept of time and space being in flux in the Dark Souls universe actually progresses through games, because there's the white phantoms that you always shit yourself when we're playing Dark Souls.
Yes, I fucking
because they are other players in other games. Yeah. And they're a whole invasion thing, and then you can call people to help you and things like that. The way that that's explained is that in Dark Souls, the entire space and time is in flux, and these are these are characters from other games that are going through the same combat as you are. What they're implying is for Dark Souls 3 is that there is a nexus of the nexus where the Dark Souls 3 is where all the Dark Souls games come from.
Right, okay. So it's
where
they all converge.
Exactly. And there's what's known as Lords of Cinder. Well, like there's in Dark Souls 1, the main boss is, you'll find out as we're playing it.
Yeah.
But the main boss is Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Now in Dark Souls 3, there are Lords plural of Cinder, which is implying that this is where the main bosses of all the games are.
Oh God, talking about this is getting me fucking excited.
But it's like I only know bits and bobs because I've looked into it, but at the same time I don't want to get too far in there because I want to find out myself.
Do you know?
But
it's exactly
implying that they're all tied together in this way, and that Dark Souls 3 is the beginning and the end of all the Dark Souls games, which is why there's been this big hubbub about the third one's going to be the last game.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of got lost in translation that it's not the last game. It's actually where all the games have come from.
Right. Okay.
You see what I mean?
I've just had a quick look. The release date is the end of this month. Is that right?
Yeah. April.
Oh right, it's April. Well, this has got it down as March 24th, but
that's the Japan release.
Right. Yeah, it does say initial release.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't heard more about it because it's got a massive cult following, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I've not really heard anyone talking about what's going to be in it. Have they been deliberately cagey about the storyline? Have they not released a lot about it, or?
In the past, they have done. For this one, not so much. It's kind of weird how open they've been about it.
Right. Okay.
Because in Demon's Souls in Dark Souls 1 and 2,
yeah,
they were very kind of you just have to fucking find out, won't you?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Just
Dark Souls 3 is they're all linked. We'll have it.
Yeah.
Gibbo, do you know this Firelink Shrine from Dark Souls 1 is in Dark Souls 3?
Oh.
You go to the Firelink Shrine of Dark Souls 1, it's 500 years in the future, and it's absolutely beat to shit.
Oh my God, do you really? That's amazing.
Yeah, there's several areas from Dark Souls 1 and 2 that are in Dark Souls 3.
Right, so I suppose
this is going to
ties into the theory of them all being tied together.
Yeah, and there's I think the third one's going to imply that over all this time that in Dark Souls 3 it's going to have them all tied together in the most literal sense of the word, where all these dimensions are kind of collapsing in on themselves.
Yeah.
So you've got areas from Dark Souls 1 and 2 together at the same time.
Not going to lie, mate, it sounds pretty fucky.
Mate, shit's going to get real.
Shit is going to get real, mate.
Shit's about to get
Also,
fucky.
we're going to have to get a fucking move on with the Dark Souls 1 playthrough if we're going to get it done in time for Dark Souls 3.
Mate, I'm on it already. I'm already on it.
Right,
I'm uploading Dark. Well, you used to before what's coming up on the channel.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: lots of fucking Dark Souls.
Lots of fucking Dark Souls.
There's an episode going up every other day. No one's watching them, but it's going up every other day.
Hey, it's there though, you know.
Yeah.
In the future, if anyone ever wants to watch a Dark Souls Let's Play,
want to watch the 60 million other ones, and then
wants to watch a really fucking inept player attempting to play Dark Souls, it'll be there, mate.
Mate, you fucking wrecked Taurus Demon first go. What are you on about?
Mate, do you know what you want to do? You want to just fucking rename the title something really clickbaity, completely PewDiePie level, fucking noob attempts to slay Dark Souls. You'll never find out what happens next.
Yeah.
Right? Just complete clickbait.
Top 10 attempts at Taurus Demon, number 7 will amaze you.
Yeah. Go full fucking lad Bible.
And then just put a pair of tits in the thumbnail.
Yeah, pretty much, mate.
And then I'll put a link, because I'm a good guy, I'll leave a link to the original image in the fucking description.
Sounds like a solid plan. So, have you got anything to add about Dark Souls 3, Gibbo? Have you read anything about it, or are you just getting fucking hype?
I'm just getting hype, mate. I'm trying not, like Ryan said before, I'm trying not to read into it too much.
You can only do so much, though, because everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing that with games where it's I'll learn just enough to pique my interest, but then I'm going to hold off on the rest until I actually play it.
Yeah, like I'll see articles come through on Facebook or on whatever I'm looking through, like on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
Like for example, the latest one. I don't know whether you might have seen this or not, Ryan, but there's some sort of woman in Dark Souls 3 that looks very, very similar to the doll from Bloodborne.
You fuck no.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
mate. If they cross it with Bloodborne, I'll fucking shit bricks. Oh my god.
Projectile vomit across your goddamn room.
Mate,
Like,
Miyazaki
literally-
was saying that when he was making Dark Souls 3, a lot of influences were coming from Bloodborne, you know, like the medieval style, like Gothic,
Yeah.
rather than like the like sword and stone and like, you know, that kind of, well, Dark Souls kind of look.
Yeah.
If they fucking pull it in where Bloodborne starts fucking coming into it, I'll fucking shit.
Bloodborne looks like the nicest looking one of the series. Like, I really like the art style of it, but I don't know how the gameplay was. Did it like meet up to Dark Souls or?
Oh,
Yeah,
mate, it's so good.
Was it?
It's brilliant because like there's a lot, like I'm pretty kind of stubborn on this because I know me and Gibbo have fucking argued about this in the past. Not because Gibbo does this, but Gibbo is basically like, you just play it how you want. But I'm like, no, play it good,
Yeah.
do it good.
Be legit.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But basically, because like I'm of the school of thought, he should be tactical. You believe you do whatever you want to win the game, which is true. Like, I can't argue with that. But you're like saying before, like, just two-hand it with like a massive fucking giant bone smasher or whatever, because it does the most damage, or like do a BKB run or wait, no, BKH run, Black Knight Halberd run, because it does the most damage, or whichever. Where I'm like, no, or use an S stock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a morning stock, like something that's underpowered, but it looks awesome. I want to do the cool thing.
We didn't argue about whether or not I don't do that. Because I don't think that magic should be in the. Well, I don't.
Not in the game,
that.
but it's the overpower it. So people that use magic tend to be like,
oh, I think magic's bullshit in the game. Basically,
isn't it balanced by how long it takes to get going? Like, isn't it terrible in the early game magic?
No, it's even better because everything gets arsehole, because nothing in the early game, nothing's got magic defense.
Oh right, so
everything is with shield or not. It's in early game. If you've got a sword and you hit a shield, they take no damage. In early game, if you shoot a guy with a fucking whatever, magic bolt, and they block it, they're taking damage because their shield isn't
magic resist. Yeah. It's just from I was listening to someone talk about when they played it, and they said because you don't get sort of a magic weapon early on. It can be a struggle up until you get a good magic weapon, and then you just blow everything up.
Yeah, well, that's magic weapons. It's not necessarily magic users.
Right.
That's something that's different. But what was your question, Mal? I just started fucking talking about weapons and got lost.
I can't fucking remember.
Is Bloodborne sort of hold up to?
Hold up to the series.
What I was going to move on to is that Miyazaki kind of not agrees with me. Specific. Oh, fucking Miyazaki! Why?
Miyazaki calls you out. Fucking
yeah. What I mean is that there was a lot of people playing the game with a great shield, a great sword with high endurance and strength, and that was what everyone was doing, because that was the most
optimal way to.
It was the most optimal way to play the game, is you do the most damage and take the least damage.
Right.
Which does make sense, and I'm not arguing with that. What I would say is it's supposed to be hard. So why are you making the game purposefully not easier but easy?
Yeah.
Like, that annoys me. But the way that he was like, yeah, don't do that. So here's a game where you don't have a shield. You have to dash. You have to dash. And he basically, there's even a shield in the game. In Bloodborne, there's just a little wank wooden shield, and they said the description for it is, what is it now? It's something really fucking. It's a proper little dig at people that overuse shields in Dark Souls. Mate,
it says something like, basically, if you use a shield against beasts, it's absolutely useless.
Yeah, it's saying like shields are good, but not if it promotes something beginning with L. I forget what it says now. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. Power of the internet to me.
Sweet. What if they do that for Dark Souls 3, mate? What if they just take that shield away again?
I wouldn't mind
then
it.
it would be fucking hard, and it'd be
Yeah, it would
great.
be hard.
Yeah.
Not that I ever fucking use a shield in Dark Souls anyway, because I always two-hand everything.
Oh, there you go. A crude. The description for the shield in Bloodborne is a crude wooden shield used by the masses. The masses.
Yeah.
To join the hunt. Hunters do not usually normally employ shields, ineffectual against the strength of beasts they tend to be. Shields are nice, but not if they engender passivity. So it basically stop behind shield all the time and play the game.
That's like a full-on call-out. It's like, stop being a bitch and fucking play the game.
Like, I wouldn't go quite as far as that. I would say that if you would rather people be dodge rolling and doing that instead, then just make this game, which is Bloodborne, which is what they've done. They've basically made Bloodborne for those people like me, and Dark Souls for people that want to just have the shield up. But the thing is, with Dark Souls, you can do the other thing as well.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. Which I think part of the reason why they've gone for a completely different, not graphical style, like art style, is because they wanted Bloodborne to be the gothic no shield and Dark Souls to be the medieval with shield.
Yeah.
So got a different type of game for people. But because I'm a massive fucking nerd for these games, I'll just jump in between either of them because they're fucking amazing.
Yeah. I've heard good stuff about fucking Bloodborne, so.
Solid, mate.
Shall we move on? Is there any other games that you want to mention that you're looking forward to, or just Dark Souls?
Dark Souls 3 is literally my life right now. I'm just waiting.
For myself, it was The Division, but I cancelled my pre-order. I don't support pre-orders as it is, but I pre-ordered it so I could get beta access, and now I've cancelled my pre-order. The reason I've cancelled my pre-order is because they were promising it's gonna have a really good end game, and saying that there's gonna be a lot more to it than there was in the beta. They showed some end game footage and it was literally exactly the same as the early game footage that we were doing in the beta. So I was just like, well, it doesn't look like there is any end game content. So until they can prove that to me, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order. So I was looking forward to that game, but now not so much.
Jacob, fucking casting his opinion with his wallet.
Mate, fucking calling out Ubisoft. Stop employing your fucking dirty tactics. And give me a decent game to spend my money on. So, I mean, it looks sick. Obviously, it's like a third-person cover-based shooter RPG sort of thing. Which, it looks like a solid game. Like, the base game does look good. It just looks like it's lacking some late-game content. If it comes out and it turns out there is endgame content and there's raids and things like that, I'll happily eat my words and buy it. But until that point, I'm not sold anymore.
I don't blame you, to be honest with you, mate. The amount of games that have come out recently, in the last several years, in fact, that have been like, yeah, we've got all this crazy shit going on, and then it comes out, it's like, well, that's not happened, has it?
Yeah, it's not that at all. Yeah. So that's
fucking Street Fighter 5 or.
Well, I wasn't going to be the one to say it, but. That's the only release I'm looking forward to. I suppose you can class Overwatch as that officially comes out in like June-ish time.
Yeah.
But I'm playing the beta anyway, so.
Yeah.
Shall we move on then to the news?
Yeah, mate.
The news at 19 minutes past 10. So the first
hot on the pulse, mate.
Hot on the fucking pulse, mate. It should have been.
Excuse me while I jump on Kotaku for you coming in.
So the first one that I thought we should discuss, because I know we're all pretty fucking hype about it, is we got 4 viewers. I don't know where they've come from. The Oculus Price was announced a while ago, and then recently the
Vive is even more expensive.
Yeah, so the Oculus is $599, which when you add taxes and shit on to the UK ends up being like nearer fucking 650 quid or something like that. And then the Vive is, I think, once it's been converted from $799 it ends up being about 649 actual pounds.
Yeah, but then you have to have the shipping is £50, which means it just goes back up to fucking 700 quid.
Well,
I've been on the HTC Vive website, mate, to pre-order it, to click it to see what it was, and it's like £730.
Is that with shipping? Is it?
Yeah.
That is fucking expensive.
Mm.
So, I don't think I'm going to get any of them on release. I would have liked to have got the Oculus on release.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be getting one eventually. Not just yet. People are very upset about the price of it, but people forget that when plasma TVs came out, they were like $3,000.
Yeah, and now you can pick one up for like what, £300?
Yeah, mate. It's new technology. Just give it a minute. Give it a minute. It's like people saying like I don't know, like when PS2, any console comes out, it's like, there's no games for it. It's just come out. Fucking give it a minute.
Yeah.
Fucking give it a minute. Like people are saying it's like, the HTC Vive, it's way more expensive. This is bullshit. Well, look at what comes with it. Because the HTC Vive comes with all the gear.
It's a lot more of a complete package.
Yeah, it is, because it comes with like full room VR like camera systems.
Yeah. 2
handheld sticks for like hand motion control.
Yeah.
In earbuds for the actual headset that comes with it. Obviously, the HTC Vive, and I think the Oculus is basically the Oculus Rift and an Xbox One pad. I think something like that.
That's right. 4K expensive.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they mean that 4K monitors are still expensive or what they mean by that. That's it's just a comment that we just got in chat, by the way. But yeah, it's extremely expensive for the Oculus and the Vive. What I'll actually do is, I wasn't really sold on the Vive. I was thinking, it's just a glorified Oculus. I didn't think the sort of room tracking features were going to be that good. But I watched a video yesterday, which I'm going to chuck up now, and it's an animator from Disney, who obviously he's retired now, but he was like a sketch artist for Disney. And he's basically talking about his life and how he started animating as a way of expressing himself. And then he starts playing with an app that's out on the Vive, which is like what's it called? Like a drawing app, but like in a 3D room in like a big square. And it looks pretty legit, and I don't think you could do it on an Oculus, because you can walk around the room and walk around the 3D drawing that you've made, and obviously because the Oculus hasn't got positional tracking, you wouldn't be able to do that. So I think it may be worth the extra money.
Yeah. I'd have probably said so. I'd have probably said it's not worth the money to the average person, but regarding what you get out of it, then it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'll get one eventually, and I'll be
like
very
much it's the early adopter tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the hardware that's in the system. You're paying for the research and development that's gone into it as well. Whereas when that's paid off, prices can start to come down.
That's precisely it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty hyped for VR, but I will certainly be waiting until the price comes down a bit, because I'm not going to go out and spend like £600 on an Oculus as much as I'd like to. I just can't justify it.
I'm pretty tempted to just get it on financing, mate. I'll be honest. Not the Oculus, but the Vive, because it's obviously that's the Steam one, and I'll obviously play a lot of Steam stuff.
I watched another video the other day of a guy using it on War Thunder, like the military shooter game, where you fly like Spitfires and stuff like that. Holy shit, it looks amazing. Like VR, I'm like, as you know, I've got Samsung Gear, which isn't as sophisticated as an Oculus, obviously, but it's a pretty nice entry-level VR system. I am fully sold on VR. Like, VR is the future. Like, it's so fucking good. The fact that I can have my phone like 2 inches from my face, but it's like looking at a 100-inch fucking cinema screen. I just think that's crazy. And once you get more high-resolution panels and you start getting rid of the screen door effect, I think it's going to be like stupidly immersive. Like, it'll pretty much be like being in the real world.
Yeah. Definitely. Also, the person in chat there just asked if you could use it on GTA, and you can.
Yeah.
One of the cool things, because with the, I don't know if it's PS4 or PC or both, where GTA 5 is first person.
Yeah.
and you can like basically play in first person. You can use the I don't know if I get an Oculus, HTC, whatever. But you can use VR with it to move around in GTA, and it's fucking unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can.
Playing it.
I think you can force pretty much most games to work in VR. It's just how well the actual game runs on it. Because like playing a 2D side scroller in VR is pretty pointless. But obviously, if you're playing like a first person game, like Elite Dangerous, for example, like it's obviously going to work really well on VR.
I'll be honest. As soon as I get hold of a VR headset, because I've got Elite, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Fucking kiss my arse goodbye, mate. I am gone,
mate.
Like, fucking just zipping by in my spaceship, looking up.
Yeah.
Actually, in me cockpit to look up to see the sun or a star, I guess, go above my head.
Yeah.
And oh, mate, with
dog fighting with someone as well, and turning to watch them fly past you so you can like follow them.
Exactly, and like being able to, especially if you've got some high quality headphones as well. Yeah. Is to stick some headphones over the top of that, and then have all these sound effects. Get a good set of like 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound headphones.
Yeah.
And then just sit and listen to all the sound effects as someone zipping by you, and it feels like they've literally zipped by you and gone behind you.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's $599 for the Oculus Panda, and it's $799 for the Vive. The Vive's probably the better option, but obviously it's a lot more expensive. So
yeah, like I said, the Vive's more expensive, but you get more stuff out of it. So if you can afford it, then it's probably worth it.
Yeah, it does surround sound, does Becky. Obviously the game Beaky. Sorry,
Beaky poo, mate.
Delicious beach.
Yeah, delectable beach, mate.
Yeah, it does. Obviously, the game has to be optimized for it, but yeah, it will if the game's been made for it. And most games are made with like a 3D sound platform, so yeah, it shouldn't be a problem getting it working.
Oh God, that'd be so great! Like cheering your head in VR to have the sound still be in front of you. It's so disconcerting to like spin around in the sound not move.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to someone trying to make me play a first-person horror game like Outlast with a VR headset on, because I'll puke because I can't. Like, I'm no good at being like playing horror games is not my cup of tea. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, but having been in that VR headset and not being able to get my face away from it,
yeah,
it's like I won't be able to handle that. Speaking of which, I was at work and I didn't dare do a risky click. But I saw on a website of people reacting to VR porn, and I was laughing my arse off at the thumbnail of this woman just like holding the headset and trying to pull it off of her face because this person's a dick is probably flying in her fucking eyeballs.
The future, mate. That's the future, mate. If you think in 10 years' time we're gonna be consuming media through a traditional means, no way. VR all the way, mate.
In about 10 years, this TV I'm looking at right now will be like gathering dust in my shed or something.
Obsolete, mate. You're going to be fucking jacked into the fucking network with your headset on, being fed for a fucking intravenous drip.
Yeah, mate. I'll be in Sword Art Online. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be literally.
Oh my god,
I'll be in there, mate.
That brings something I forgot about actually. They are actually making a Sword Art Online VR game.
Of course they are.
So
why would you not do that? It's literally the thing that with VR coming out and that being popular. Why would you not do that?
Yeah,
that's the smartest move I've ever heard a game company do. It's like, right, okay.
Well, it's
we've got this premise. Move, isn't it? We've got this premise of an MMO where you're actually in the game, right?
Yeah.
And they've got these VR headsets, right? What I reckon we do, right? Put them both together and make billions of pounds.
Mate, so good. I'm so fucking hyped for VR. I just can't wait for the prices to come down. I think they will within sort of 18 months, which may be coinciding with the release of Star Citizen, if that ever actually comes out. So that could be pretty nice.
Fucking subtle dig there. Well, you got $100 million, bro. You want to bring out the fucking game already, or what?
Mate, and they reached like $105 million or something now. It's absolutely obscene. Anyway, shall we move on, because we're going to be stuck talking about VR in the future all night. Another thing I want to talk about that's been in the news is Gears of War being sleeper released yesterday on the Xbox Live Marketplace only. How'd you feel about that?
I fucking laughed.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I laughed. I thought it was funny as fuck.
It's ridiculous.
I understand why Microsoft had done it.
That's what I'm saying.
Talk about VR until you can afford it. Yeah, I'll be talking for a long time. I think it's pretty stupid. Like, I understand why they've done it, because they've realised that there's a pretty big market for PC gamers, and they want a slice of that pie, because they're Microsoft and they want money. Yeah. But
they need that money.
They've got to realise that the amount of money that they're ploughing into their infrastructure to sell it through the Xbox Live Marketplace, the return that they're going to get from the extra cash from selling it purely themselves isn't going to make up the same amount that they could have made just selling it through Steam.
Yeah, but it's like I said, what I was saying to you before. I've got enough launchers, mate. I've got enough fucking launchers in my fucking... Like I was saying, like, my entire fucking storage drive at this point is 99% fucking launchers.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my thing, like, my taskbar right now. I've got Epic Games launcher, because I've got the Paragon beta.
Yeah.
I've got Steam, obviously, is the go-to. I've got the Nexus mod manager for anything I've got modded into Oblivion, like Fallout or Witcher at some point. I'm going to put some mods on that.
Yeah.
I've got League of Legends. What else? What else? Was another one that I fucking forgot I had. I've got Uplay in the Windows one. Fucking just stop it. Just give me the
Just let me buy the game through one platform.
Just let me buy the game, and then just put it on what I want.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean, that's probably way more fucking like complex than I'm willing to discuss. But I'd really like it if I could just download buy a game online, and then be like, "Would you like to install to Steam, Uplay, or whatever?" And then just all have it all on one thing.
Yeah. So like, even if they make you buy it through their platform, at least you can sort of launch it through another library.
You can do that with Steam, you know.
You can, but you can't with Gears of War Ultimate. It can only be launched through the actual Microsoft store.
Oh, that's gross.
You can't import it into your Steam library. That's just the icing on the cake, mate. It's like, I am a huge Gears of War fan. My first sort of hardcore multiplayer game was Gears of War 1. And I'm not buying fucking my dream game, which is a remastered Gears of War 1 on PC.
Yeah.
Because of the bullshit that they're making you do to buy it. So, I think...
That's me. Like, because Gears is one of my... Gears of War 1 was the first game I ever played online. Like, competitive online play.
Yeah, same.
And that initial rush, that initial adrenaline rush of fighting over it online, for some reason...
Killing somebody with a headshot and then teabagging their dead corpse.
Yeah, mate. It's just classic affair all around. That's what it is. But like, the first time I played that game was my first foray into online competitive play.
Yeah.
And the idea that like it's now become this
gated
horrible
community.
little box of like, no, you can't do it unless you do. No.
Yeah, it's pretty obscene.
People are missing out, and it annoys me.
And it's had a lot of problems on launch as well. Lots of missing features, lots of crashes, underperforming. So it sounds like it's had a pretty rocky release. Maybe they'll see their error of their ways and put it on the Steam Marketplace at some point, but I wouldn't bet on it because Microsoft are pretty stubborn.
So the Microsoft are like stubborn to the point that it is like, wow, like idiotic.
But the point is, they've got so much money they can afford to take the risk, because they're like, well, so what if it doesn't work out and we don't sell copies? We've got bank. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter to them. But they want to monopolise the PC gaming market because they've realised there's such a big community for it. I think the average concurrent viewers for current players for CS:GO is like 500,000 people. The average concurrent players for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on console is probably like, 50,000 max? So, like, PC is a massive platform that they're not making much money on at the moment.
Yeah.
and they want a slice of that pie, which is why they're trying to force people to use the Xbox Store. So,
I hate when there's a new thing that comes out and then everyone has their fucking version of it and everyone's got this really shit version of it. Like, Netflix came out, now everyone's got their own subscription service for their, like, UFC's got one, WWE's got one, like, wrestling's got one. Just literally every kind of media that you could possibly intake via video at this point has got its own Netflix rip-off, and it fucking does me head in.
It's so fucking annoying, because, like, there's not one central place you can go to get content anymore. It's like, if I watch Netflix, and I'm into fucking cooking shows at the moment. I'm watching the shit out of cooking shows. So, I can watch Hell's Kitchen on Netflix, Hell's Kitchen USA.
Yeah.
But if I want to watch Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, I have to go and watch it on 4OD or whatever else. It's like, just put all the fucking content in one place.
Yeah. It's kind of why. I mean, I know you're not really supposed to do that, but I use like VPNs for like Netflix and stuff. I know Mark.
Oh, mate, you think you're going to be doing that for much longer? You've got another thing coming.
I know Netflix are cracking down on it, but until they crack down to the point where I can't do it, then I'm going to carry on doing it.
Well, they've done it over the last couple of weeks. They've blocked massive blocks of IP addresses that are known VPNs. So they've blocked a lot of people's access, but there is certain VPNs that people are still using.
Bear with me a second. I just need to check my Netflix real quick because it's really important.
No, it still works because I use the same one as you. So,
well, you use SmartFlix?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, good. I don't even know if SmartFlix is a funny one because I don't think they actually use. I remember reading the thing about it. It's not really a VPN as much as it's like an online source for all the content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So rather than like sourcing some like, that's why it's all the Netflix rather than just like one area's Netflix.
Yeah, well, yeah,
because
it's like all the VPNs combined.
Yeah,
it's like a cataloging service, and then when you click on it to view it, that's when it'll route your IP through the relevant country.
So what we'll see on SmartFlix in particular is that will be our catalog will slowly but surely dwindle away with all the VPNs being shut down.
He the creator of it has come out and said it's become quite obvious to them that they're not going to be able to do it forever. They think within 12 months they will have been shut down because they won't be able to find the IPs to route the traffic through.
Yeah.
So instead of doing what they were before and charging a yearly fee, they've moved it down to a monthly fee because they don't think it's fair to charge people for a year if they can't guarantee 12 months of service. So So yeah, that's pretty much all the news that I wanted to talk about. Is there any topics that you or Gibbo have seen that you wanted to talk about? We're on about an hour and a quarter, so we've got like 10 or 15 minutes, and it'll be a good hour and a half.
Yeah. I don't know, mate. I feel we just kind of ramble on, and whatever topics kind of just fall in front of my face.
Yeah.
Like we just had a little discussion there about Netflix for not any real reason apart from just decided to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me think. Any game we've already discussed games that are coming out. Dark Souls 3 is literally my entire life at this point.
Yeah.
So I need to have that hooked directly into my veins.
Mate, it's coming. Give it 10 years, you'll have that VR headset on.
Oh my god, fucking VR Dark Souls. VR first person Dark Souls. Holy shit. Mate. Holy shit. Get in my eyes immediately. Get in there. Oh Christ. Yeah, I've not really got that much else, to be honest with you.
I don't think there's a great deal going on in the news at the moment because there hasn't really been any sort of big conferences or anything recently. Obviously, it's been a while since CEX now, and then like E3 and stuff. It's not till like June time.
Just such a massive nerd that I'm just waiting for the next big thing, or the next cool thing. Yeah. But one thing to say is isn't No Man's Sky coming out soon?
Have they put a release date on it yet? Because I know they keep saying it's coming, but hasn't it been delayed a few times? Or
I'm pretty sure it comes out next month, mate. I swear it's like April, May. It comes out.
I think that'd be a pretty interesting game to play on VR because it's obviously not realistic. It's really stylized and cartoony, but I still think it'd work well in VR.
June 2016 apparently it's supposed to come out.
So it's coming.
Yeah, so next few months.
That's another one I'm like, oh my fucking god, please give me a VR, I need it.
Yeah, I do think that's going to be pretty legit. Star Citizen's the one for me, but that's just taking its goddamn time.
Yeah.
Anything that you've seen that you want to talk about, Gibbo?
Not that I can think of, mate. I mean, we've pretty much covered every sort of game.
Mate, I think we've fucking gone to town, to be fair.
Pretty much spoke about pretty much every game that I'm looking forward to. Mass Effect
fucking,
Andromeda.
Fucking crushed it. Crushed the podcast has been crushed.
There was one talking of sci-fi games, Quantum Break. I haven't seen a lot of that, but I'm going to be interested to see what happens when it does come out. It's,
I'm up in the air about Quantum Break. I'll be honest. It kind of looks, it's like fucking time is power, and then like you look at the game and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know if I like looking at it.
That's what I mean. Like, I haven't looked at a great deal. Like, the concept sounds good, but that's going to be one that I'm going to review when it comes out. Like, I'll look into it when it comes out and then decide if I want it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. That was all the news that I had to talk about. Just to wrap up then, shall we have a quick natter about what's going up on the channel? So, as you were saying before, shitloads of Dark Souls is going to be going up.
Absolutely shitloads of Dark Souls. So, like, for anyone, I don't think, is there anyone in the fucking thing at this point? But anyway, anyone that listens to this podcast, either when we put this up on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's getting straight up on YouTube. Yeah.
So anyone that actually listens to this will be able to understand that I am currently in and editing 4 playthroughs at the same time. So it's kind of
man's a
difficult.
Fucking beast.
It's getting pretty difficult to the point where I'm now only uploading Dark Souls, where it's like I just can't fucking deal anymore. So Dark Souls is going to continue to go up every other day because we need to get it out of the way, because we need to do a playthrough of Dark Souls 3 or some way. I've not decided how we're going to do it. I thought maybe we could do like a 3-way playthrough.
I'm not fucking handling the controller.
No,
I'm more than happy to sit there and talk about the fucking lore, but I'm not holding.
That's why I was possibly thinking about doing me and Gibbo playing through it with you in the room to discuss it. Because at the same time,
because obviously it's your first playthrough, so you're going to be concentrating. So
exactly, yeah. And whether I'll play through it myself and come back to it or not, I don't know, because I don't know if I'll be able to handle not playing it, because I need it in my veins, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's something that's something we'll talk about later on. But Dark Souls will continue to go up every other day. Firewatch will also continue to go up sporadically. Just because of the upload schedule might be a little bit knackered by the fact that Dark Souls is going up all the time. Yeah. Street Fighter, we've got part 1 and part 2 of the Street Fighter Night. Don't know if Street Fighter 5 part 3 will ever go up, because there's some. No, well, I'll be honest with you, there's some babies screaming in the background. So I don't think YouTube.
That production quality.
And like, obviously, it's not the. It was like, fucking shut the baby up, kind of like, But there is a baby screaming in the background, so we've got 2 videos at half an hour apiece, so we've got plenty of Street Fighter 5 up on the channel, to be honest with you. Anyway, Portal 2 is also going up steadily, but slowly but surely, and we need to do some more actual footage for that.
Yeah, I mean it's not a long playthrough, so we can complete. That in a couple of sessions,
to be honest,
really.
I kind of like just dropping in and out of it. It's quite nice to just drop in for it. Also, I believe you've got King of Fighters 98 currently being edited at the moment, haven't you?
I have, when
Part 2.
I fixed my Sony Vegas because it's broken. So
No,
it was all ready to go up. Part 2 was, and then I came to render it, and Sony Vegas was broken. So, I've also got my Overwatch first impressions video going up. It's going to be a 2-parter. The first one's going to be like a port report, talking about performance, options menu, stuff like that. And then the second part is going to be talking about the actual game. And I've got quite a few clips of gameplay footage that I can talk over and just talk about the game modes and the way the meta is at the moment and things like that. So eventually, when I can get around to editing that'll be going up as well.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that, because I need to. Because you've been gushing about it, and I really want to have a look at it.
I've played so much of that game. Honestly, so many hours wasted. Well, I can't really say wasted, but
not wasted. Or...
No, pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got that. Like you say, King of Fighters, and then I suppose whatever sporadic games that we decide to play.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really do one-offs, to be fair. No. I'm looking to do some fighting game fundamentals. Like we've got Salter Showdown we're going to do as well at some point. which is basically going to be a tournament-style fighting game session. But also I want to do like Salty Saturdays or like Scrubble Sunday or something like that, where basically I'm going to do a series of videos that are going to concern fighting games and how to have a set of skills that you can apply to almost any fighting game, and then moving on from there, but going to specific games and certain things that you can do. For instance, I can tell you for a fact that episode 1 or part 1 will be fundamentals.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm the best in the world, which is why I'm doing these videos, because I feel everyone needs to know what to do, and I know how to tell them. What I'm saying is that there is certain things. I know when I first started playing fighting games, I didn't know what to do, and I felt like there was no resource to tell me.
No, it's like all the guides are like really sort of high-level guides.
Well, not even that, because a lot of the guides will just be like, jump in, and then kick him, and then do the move.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's more than that. It's like thinking... It's a mindset that you need to get into to actually play the game properly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I can actually discuss.
Obviously, like spacing, footsies, things
spacing,
like that.
footsies, fundamentals, cross-ups and wake-ups and delayed wake-ups and all the little things that most people do know, but for the person coming in raw as like, okay, Street Fighter 5 has just come out, I want to get into some fighting games. Street Fighter 5 is where I'm going to start because it's just come out ground level. That's a really good for a kickoff. That's a really good idea because getting in, like, you go online now on Street Fighter 4, you'll get absolutely fucking wrecked because people that know the game inside out. Street Fighter 5 is still being learned around the world, so if you want to get in, now is the time to do it. And I feel like I want someone to be able to go, okay, what the fuck? How do you play fighting games? I've got Street Fighter 5, but I keep getting absolutely knackered by everybody. And then they can come onto our channel, look on fundamentals, and slowly but surely figure out how to space themselves properly so they can get in range to do their moves that they need to do.
Yeah, I think one of the things that people struggle on is what moves beat what as well. Yeah. It's like, when does a grab beat a normal attack, or when does an EX break armor on an attack?
Yeah, priority. That's another thing, armor and moves and priorities. And specific games have different, obviously... Like, Street Fighter 4 has focus attack, which is basically an armor move. Yeah. Where all characters have one hit of armor if you press the button at the right time. Which is, again, something I can go into in the middle. So this is, as I've just mentioned there's a lot to go out with that. So I'll probably end up doing that at some point.
Sweet. Well, I
don't know when, though, because I'm going on holiday to Scotland for like 5 days to go and drink myself into an absolute stupor and eat steak.
Oh, that sounds like a fucking ideal holiday.
Mate, absolutely. I can't wait. We're going to get there. Me and Kat are going to get there, and we're just going to pull up at I think it's a static caravan. It's like a fancy static caravan. Yeah. But we're going to pull up, and I'm just going to immediately, depending on what time of day it is, either cook some steak or pour myself a massive bottle of fucking like a whiskey or something, and just sit and listen to nothing. Just fucking. Oh, mate, I can't wait.
The country air.
Yeah, mate. The soft scent, like, smell of frying Mars bars in the distance.
Watching fucking Glaswegians trying to climb up a hill.
Mate, to be fair, that is one of. I'm gonna go find somewhere that'll do it, and I'm gonna get a deep fried Mars bar. Cause I've made one myself at uni, but I've got a funny feeling they're gonna do it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I imagine. Do it properly, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Sweet. Well, I think that's pretty much everything now. Is there anything that you wanted to throw in, Gibbo, or are you ready to pass out?
Nothing that I can think of. You pretty much gabbed on about everything I wanted to talk about. That's why I've said barely anything.
Well, me and Ryan have been known to say one or two words, mate. We've been known to talk.
I don't
Ryan
think I've
can
ever
talk for England.
5 minutes for my entire life, pretty much. So.
No.
Well, that was episode 1 of Dork Talk. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll be live streaming these, so feel free to head over to Twitch and follow us on there. Follow the YouTube as well, and then obviously you can see all the stuff that we've been talking about and the content that's going to go up. Thanks for watching.
Look forward to episode 2 in 6 months where we can be asked to do it.
Yeah, I feel that's optimistic. Maybe like bi-weekly or monthly or
yeah.
We'll sort something.
We'll figure it out.
Right, sweet. Thanks for watching. Bye.